I've driven past these cell towers countless times. Never once did I think they'd make an interesting photo. Cell towers, industrial, not exactly photogenic. Until one evening, I got curious and grabbed my camera on what turned out to be the windiest day in weeks. They were the same towers I'd ignored for years, but different light, different conditions, and I couldn't stop photographing them. If you can't see great photos, it's not that they aren't there. You just need to learn how to see the places around you a little bit differently. And there are 3 ways to do that. The first thing you need to do is slow down. Most of us are moving way too fast. Digital photography makes it so easy to take hundreds of photos in a short time. How fast the whole process is. Burst mode, lightning fast autofocus, boom, 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 there goes 50 shots. We can photograph a scene in an instant and already be on to the next one before we gave the first any deeper thought beyond first instincts. So here's what I recommend, even if just for one day. Simplify your kit. 1 camera, 1 prime lens, and a tripod. And use the tripod for everything, even the shots that don't technically need it. Here's why that matters. When you shoot on a tripod, it forces you to commit to a scene and look with your eyes. You're not wandering around searching for the shot, you're planting yourself and watching. Something caught your eye. Now observe the changes in the sky, the weather, and the light. How things might move within the scene, the contrast of light and shadow, color against color, the clash of man-made and natural. And look around you. Do a full 360 of the entire environment. The shot might actually be from way far behind you. It's really about being hyper aware of what's going on around you, and the way you learn to be more aware is by slowing down. This flash of red in the sky happened just once for a couple seconds, and I only caught it because my tripod was already set up for 20 minutes. A little extreme, yes, but I was watching the scene waiting for something to change, and sometimes that takes a while, but it happened. And slowing down is only part of it. You also need to know what to look for. Here's the key. You're not looking for things, a tower, a shoreline, a building. You're looking for relationships, contrast. The way these towers cut through the sky from the beach, that's a relationship between industrial and natural. There's contrast between the vertical lines of the structure and the horizontal planes of the water. The way the artificial light competes with twilight and the different colors of the sky. There's a relationship between warm and cool. When you start to look for how things connect, light and shadow, color against color, foreground and background, that's when ordinary scenes start to reveal themselves. Because it's not about finding perfect subjects. It's about noticing how the elements in front of you are already talking to each other. And the third way to see differently is to break your routine. Things in your surroundings will stay ordinary until you look at them in extraordinary conditions. So what does that mean? If you see the same places all the time in midday light, things are going to blur together. Your brain isn't going to pick anything interesting up. But go look at those places when you're normally at home, at sunset, at blue hour, on a foggy morning, in the rain. Look at them from a different angle, a different perspective. When I went to go photograph those towers, it was extreme winds at sunset. Was I prepared for the freezing gusts on the lake? No. Was it comfortable? Absolutely not. But what it created is the extraordinary within the ordinary. The same towers I'd ignored for years became interesting because the conditions were different. The light was dramatic. The wind created motion in the water. The sky had texture. That's what transforms a boring subject into a compelling photograph. It's not about the place, it's about when and how you photograph it. This is why travel photography feels so easy. When you visit a foreign country, it seems like no matter where you point your camera, you can't possibly take a boring photo. Because everything is different. You're seeing it all for the first time, in new light, from unfamiliar angles. When we're at home, we're conditioned to things looking a certain way because we have a routine. We see the same things from the same point of view so many times that they become normal. It all fades into the background. But you can break that by seeking out different conditions. Look at those familiar places from a different point of view, in a different light, at a different time of day. And suddenly there are all kinds of things to photograph. Making great photos has almost nothing to do with your camera. It's about learning how to see. And seeing isn't passive, it's a skill that you build. Like a muscle, one day at a time. The photos were always there. You just need to see differently. So here's your challenge. Pick one place you see every day. Your street, your local park, somewhere you think is boring. And go there at a time you normally wouldn't. Bring your tripod, slow down. Look for relationships, look for the light doing something different. And I promise you, you'll find photos you've been walking right past for years.